And so it was never us versus them, but it was just us working with them and sort of getting on the same side as them to be able to try and find some kind of solution. So that's the value, guys. This is something that you will list on your resume. This is something that you will get a chance to do in your own personal life. And this is something that's going to help you sell so many more knives, okay? So that being said, let's kind of jump into a couple thoughts here at the top. First off, answering objections correctly is not a cheat code. All right. It is not a cheat code. There's nothing I say that just, takes them from, I don't want all the knives in a homemaker. And then I say, yeah, but, and then they want all the knives in the homemaker. All right. So I want to be clear. It's not a cheat code, but what it does is it helps get people focused back towards solutions. All right. You with me on that? Doing this the correct way. The whole point of answering objections correctly is it gets them focused back on solutions. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Finding a solution for this particular customer. I will also say the best time to answer an objection is before it ever comes up. All right. And so what I mean by that is there's certain things in the demo that we highlight to try and answer objections before they ever come up. Like, guys, if you're consistently having customers say, oh, my knives, like Cutco's great, but my knives are fine. They're not great, but, so I definitely don't need a set because I already have knives. I should get 2 or 3 things. By the way, if you're hearing that consistently, like, that's okay. But there are parts in your demo that are answering that objection about how, hey, I know the knives you have right now have gotten you by up to this point. So you probably feel fine with them. But the reality is you kind of didn't know what you were missing out on. All right. It's like the first time someone got a smartphone. Guys, when the iPhones came out, every person said, oh my gosh, I'm not going to spend $600 on a phone. That's crazy. Who in the world would do that? All right. And then all of a sudden, once we get it, we're like, oh, damn, now I'm going to spend $1,500. Okay. So guys, not only did we all get over this hump of this thing that we're like, there's no chance I'm ever going to do that. Yeah, a lot of y'all are too young for this. When the first one came out, it was $500. We're like, no one's ever going to do that. You're on drugs. Are you kidding me, Steve Jobs? And now not only that, but we pay 2 to 3 times more than that because we want even better technology. And then now they know there's a market for it. And so I literally will say that to customers like, hey, I know that a lot of times they've gotten by with what they have. So they think they're fine with it, but it's because they didn't know what they're missing. They didn't know there was something safer, something that was better, something that would save them time literally every day in the kitchen, something they would buy once, use every day, and never have to replace. And that's why people get fired up about Cutco. Okay. And so, just having that sort of confidence to answer objections in advance is really key. And by the way, there's not a whole lot you need to add to your demo. I want to be clear. Your demo script is perfect. It's not about having to add a bunch of stuff to your presentation or your demo. It's about learning how to highlight things that maybe we're not hitting. Okay. So here's the thing that's hard to understand when you're new. The objections that you are getting most consistently, it just means there's something in your demo that's maybe not offering them quite that bit of information we would like to. So guys, pay attention. If you're consistently hearing the same objections, talk to your manager, Celeste, talk to JC, talk to Mac. And so that way they can really help you kind of navigate through that process. If you follow me on that. One of my friends put it best back in the day. It was like in college, and it just stayed with me forever because I thought it was so funny. And they were talking to another friend of ours, and they said, hey man, the only consistent thing across all your past failed relationships is you. Okay. And they were just using this to highlight the point that maybe there was something about my friend that was helping bring on these same issues they were having over and over again. So guys, it doesn't mean you're doing a bad demo. It doesn't mean you're not trying super hard, but if you're consistently hearing the same feedback responses from your customer, odds are there's a part of your demo that naturally tries to answer that objection that we could hit just a little bit stronger. And you don't have to figure that out, but pay attention to what you're hearing, and then you can talk to your manager about it. Okay. Guys, when we get a chance to properly answer the objections, what it does is it sets up a logical drop down with your customer. And just to kind of quickly review those steps one more time, and then I want to go through and give you guys some examples, some just kind of common objections that you're likely hearing. Guys, we have this thing we call the objection cycle, and where it starts out is Oscar's with a customer, and he's going to ask for the order. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. Would you like to get that homemaker +8? And I'm going to get you those shears for free. Now, at that point, the customer can say yes or anything other than yes. Anything other than yes is an objection. All right. Guys, objection is not rejection. And if that's the only thing you take away from this call, your time will be well spent. But you have to be able to rob that word no from just having that power over over you. Guys, your entire life, and this is what's hard because we're catching you guys in a context of 18 to 24 years or however old you guys are, your entire life, y'all been conditioned to avoid hearing the word no. No is discipline. No is rejection. No is like bad, mal, no, correction, okay? Guys, in the business world, no is just how we work through options. And so until you can sort of let that go, like, sometimes people say, oh, what if I call this Big Mac and I try to book a demo and they say no? And I go, okay, cool. Then you're the same as you are now. You just don't have a demo with them, but at least you have the satisfaction of knowing you've done your best. Y'all kind of follow me on that? And logically it's easy, but emotionally it still throws us off. Guys, like if a customer says no to giving me recommendations, I know what to say. And if it still doesn't work, I don't care because I'll just do more demos. If someone says no on the phone, like I don't care. And it's just that sort of attitude, not that I don't care because I'm flippant or I'm dismissive, I'm not, but the reality is because I am just confident in my future opportunities, it's an abundance mindset. There's plenty of customers, there's plenty of people to go see, there's plenty of sales opportunities. I don't have to put so much pressure on all these interactions. And the fact that I'm not so pressured makes me better at my job. All right. So Oscar's going to ask for the order. Customer's going to give an objection, and then he's going to clarify that objection. You'll notice that like the answer to every one of those knee-jerk reactions is always like, I completely understand. Okay. And in fact, a lot of times I like to repeat it back to him and just nod my head. Okay, so what I'm hearing, Mrs. Jones, is you like the homemaker set. If you had it, you feel like you'd probably use it, but it's just more than you're comfortable spending right now. Am I hearing you right on that? Okay, and I'll just nod my head and repeat it back to him. And guys, what this does is it shows you're listening. That's the important thing. Customers want to be heard. They want to know you're listening, okay? That you're not just, trying to force an agenda on them, but you're actually listening. And so then all of a sudden, when I do that correctly, well, that solution I can offer, that new information before I ask again, can be really impactful. Hey, Mrs. Jones, I totally get that. $1,549, that's a lot to do all at once. You guys didn't budget $1,500 for knives this month? You knew I was coming, right? You just joke. Laughter reduces tension. You don't have to say that. But my point is relax for a beat because they're feeding off your energy. And when you give them nerves and anxiety, they give you nerves and anxiety back. A confused mind doesn't decide. Okay. So, hey, Mr. Jones, I completely understand. That's a lot to do all at once. We totally get that. By the way, that's why everyone does the 5-pay. And, I don't think I really explained it very well to you, but on that 5-pay, there's no interest, there's no financing, there's no credit. They just do a charge on your card once a month. And it just goes automatically on your credit or your debit card. We send everything immediately. You guys use it for a month. Treat it like a customer, use it, abuse it, put it in the dishwasher, put it through its paces. And by the way, I know you're going to love it. Cutco's going to absolutely prove itself to you. You're going to love every piece in that set. But if you find there's a couple pieces or even the whole thing that you didn't love as much, we'll just take it back. So it's super duper easy, but this way you would be set for life. So if you could budget that $337 for the next couple months, you'll never have to think about this again the rest of your life. So, hey, Ms. Jones, what do you think? Knowing that, would it be worth it to give it a shot? Can we try that homemaker set out for you here today? And that way I can get you those shares for free. So guys, it's not me versus them. Now, here's the deal. I know I sound good. Sometimes people's answers are like, oh, you sound good. Well, yes, I sound good. I've been here 20 years. I've been doing this. I've been saying that line longer than y'all have been humans. Of course I sound good. It would be weird. If you sound better than me, you're going to have my job next year. So calm down. All right. So it's okay, guys. You don't need to sound like me, but could you borrow some of that confidence? Yes, you can. Okay. Ben on this call is on my team. Guys, Ben is a super confident guy. All I need Ben to do is take the natural confidence that he has and just project it onto kitchen knives. Even if you don't always feel it on the kitchen knives, just do it. Okay. The Venn diagram of Ben's confidence as a human being, apply it to kitchen knives and you're going to be fine. So guys, it's not always about what you say. And in fact, a lot of y'all, you're saying the right things and then you're wondering why you're not getting some of the results that you see other people getting. Well, it's public speaking 101. It's not just the words we say, it's the way we say it. Okay. Guys, let's kind of transition here for just one little second, okay? One of the most challenging things a lot of times when people are new is we sort of have this attitude of, well, I guess I'm just going to see what happens, all right? Like we just sort of throw our hands up and be like, I'll hope for the best. I hope people see me and they buy all the knives and give me recommendations and all that. And here's what I want you to know. It is very hard to actually effectively answer objections with customers or to have confidence and power in your speech like we're talking about here today if you do not have a specific goal in mind that you're shooting for. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand it is entirely possible to have a specific goal you're shooting for and not be pushy. Okay. Like that's an important thing for y'all to know. Guys, I can go into a conversation. Me and my wife can have a conversation. She can have a specific goal of, hey, I hope through this conversation, we get to a point where we agree on X. All right, guys, that's not her being pushy. That's her having a perspective. Now, at the same time, if I really strongly disagree with that, we'll probably find some other compromise or we'll work something else out. That's great. But she is still going in there with an objective she's trying to get. And I find that a lot of times what's happening with people on our team when they're new is they're so afraid of coming across as pushy. Okay, which I don't want, by the way. I'm not a pushy person. I'm a confident person, but I'm not a pushy person. But what happens is it's like a pendulum swinging back and forth. And people are so afraid of coming across as pushy that what happens is they end up inadvertently swinging a little too far the other way. Okay, I'll give you a little bonus tip here. Pushy people don't think they're pushy. All right. They don't. Like, that's not their goal. Their goal is not to set out every day and be like, wow, I'm going to push people away from me and really just be a generally unpleasant person to interact with or be around. No, nobody likes that. Okay, guys, they think they're doing right. A lot of times I have people on my team who are like super athletic or super competitive, and sometimes they come across a little too intense. And I just have to tell them, because again, I'm the outside looking in. I have to tell them, hey man, I'm gonna slow your roll. I'm gonna push you back to center just a little bit, because that's where it's the right place to be. That's the healthy place to be. And by the way, they think I'm clipping their wings. I know they do, but I'm not. I'm gonna get them to that good place of balance and strength that customers are gonna really respond with in a positive way. Well, guess what, guys? People who are being not confident enough, people who are kind of being a pushover, they don't think they're being a pushover either. So I have to do the same thing for them. I have to go, hey man, I'm not going to steer you wrong, but I gotta pull you right here. And so it stretches them just like it does it to the pushy people. It stretches them out of their comfort zone, but it helps them find that baseline. Now, guys, I'm not saying any of you guys are pushy, and I'm not saying any of you guys are pushovers. I'm not on your demos. I don't know y'all that well yet. I hope to know some of you that well eventually, but I don't yet. But you have to ask yourself, if I was going to err one way or the other, which would it be? And honestly, I think for most of my team in Highland Park, you're not pushy, and I don't want you to be. I'm not either, okay? So I think if you were going to err one way or the other, I think you'd go a little too far into that space where you don't seem as confident as you should be. You don't seem as assertive as you should be. Guys, if you don't go into every single interaction without a specific objective in mind, you will never effectively answer those. So let me talk about what are my objectives. My objectives, every time I talk to someone on the phone, is to try and book a demo in the next 2 days. That is my objective. Not to maybe get something, not to hopefully book a demo, not to talk to people, is to book a demo in the next 2 days. That is my objective. Now, because I know that's my objective, I have clarity. So everything I say, it's in service to that. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes people can't see me, and that's okay. I don't make them feel bad, and I don't make it weird, but I know what my objective is. I want to book a demo in the next 2 days. Every person I ever ask for recommendations, I know what my objective is. My objective is to try and get 10 recommendations. That is my objective. Everything I do is in service to that. Sometimes I get more, oftentimes I get less. My objective, I have complete clarity. I know exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. Every person I see, my goal is to get 10 recommendations. Okay. And so because of that, it's simple. I know what I'm trying to do. Do I make it weird? Do I guilt people? Do I beat them up if they don't do that, or they can't do that, or they don't want to do that? No, they don't. I don't. That's okay, guys. But I'm clear. I know what my objective is. And by the way, my objective every demo I do when it's a new customer is to sell them at a minimum a signature set. All right. And my objective with every cut co-owner I see is to upgrade them to an ultimate set. Those are my objectives. Now, do I sell every customer a signature set? No, I don't, but I do a signature quality demo. You better believe it. I sell them on a cheese knife. I talk about how the Hardy slicer is going to go right through those ribs. I talk about how the signature is so special because you can get the bigger steak knives, and welcome to Texas, because we live in Texas and we like big things in Texas. All right. And guys, it's fun and it's funny and it's silly, but it's okay. I sell a ton. I have a weirdly high average order. And it's because I have a very clear objective. And the mistake a lot of times y'all are making is you're going to this interaction. You're just like, oh, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I hope for the best. All right. And guys, y'all see how that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Imagine going to a job interview and it's your dream job. And like, you just go in there and you're like, oh, it's up to the universe to decide. No, you're going in there to say, like, this is my dream job. I have a passion. I have a vision. This would change my life if I got this. And by the way, I know there's pressure that goes with that, and that stinks. That stinks. Okay. But guess what, guys? Everything you ever do in your life that matters, you're going to feel pressure. You're going to feel pressure. I feel pressure being a dad. I feel pressure being a business owner. I feel pressure being a husband. I feel pressure having a house. Do you know how many things break in my house? Everything breaks in my house. Okay. But it's just part of it. Guys, anything you ever do in your life, you'll feel pressured. Y'all feel pressure at school. You feel pressure in sports. Of course you do. All right, guys, the pressure is okay. That's just a life skill. You have to learn how to be able to accept there will be pressure, but the stress is different. The stress is different. Pressure is real. You will never avoid pressure unless you just decide to do nothing in your life that ever matters. The pressure is real. You will feel it. It is real and it exists. Guys, the stress though, that's an emotional response to pressure. You'll follow me on that? The pressure is very real. The stress is an emotional experience you're having regarding that pressure. And by the way, I'm an anxious person. I get stressed. I get overwhelmed. I get depressed. So for me, I'm saying this for me as much as I'm saying this for any of y'all. But you have to be able to just handle that just because you feel a certain way doesn't have to change the way you interact. So knowing my objective is to sell a homemaker set, really to sell a signature set, guys, I talk about it with enthusiasm. I talk about it like the great option it is for people. And then when they say no, that's okay. I'm not surprised. I don't make it weird, but it's okay. Hey, Ms. Jones, the great thing is that signature set doesn't cost $4,000. In fact, it's not even $34.35, which is so great. The signature set's $21.43 or whatever it is. I have my manual out, so I don't even know off the top of my head. And so, Ms. Jones, the great thing is we're just a little more than the sale price of that set to get a way better set with more pieces, American made and forever guaranteed. How crazy is that? The signature is just $21.43. That's just going to be $573 over 5 months interest free. Now, hey, we've got these buy now bonuses and they're so cool. Oh, let me write that price down. With these buy now bonuses, if you guys got that signature set, I get you kitchen tools and an entertainer pack for free. How wild would that be? By the way, that's like $570 worth of free Cutco. And it's just because we're so excited for people to get that signature set because we know it's such a great set for your family. So, hey, guys, what do you think? I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. Do you guys want to try that signature set out today and let me load you up with those freebies? Okay. Everything I'm doing is in service because I'm clear on my objectives. Guys, half of the issues some of y'all are facing is because you're not clear on your objectives. When I'm clear on my objective, my goal is to book a demo in the next 2 days. Hey, Ms. Jones, sorry, I have to get my phone script mindset. I would have my script out, of course. But when I go through it, hey, Ms. Jones, I really need 3 more appointments tomorrow to hit my goal. And I've got an opening at 1:30 or I have one at 4 p.m. Gosh, which of those do you think would be better for you? Oh, Brian, we're super busy. I mean, I don't know. You could probably call us back later. I don't think we have any time tomorrow. Hey, Ms. Jones, I completely understand. You guys are super busy. In fact, you're probably way busier than I am. Okay. I'm willing to bet that's safe to say. But gosh, I'm working so hard towards this goal. Man, I'd meet with you at 8 a.m. I'd meet with you at midnight if I had to. Gosh, can I just ask, because I really am trying to get those 3 demos tomorrow. Is there a better time tomorrow that we could potentially catch up? And then just let them answer. Okay. And by the way, you know what they say to that? Yes or no. And I've already decided that no's are not, objection is not rejection. It doesn't affect me negatively if they tell me no. Okay. And I'm not gonna make it weird if they're just like, honestly, Brian, I'm just out of town tomorrow. I wish I could help you. I was like, oh my God, I completely understand. What are y'all doing? Are you doing something super fun? Okay, cool. Well, hey, I tell you what, it sounds like tomorrow's just out of the question. And I get that. I'm not trying to add stress to your life. I do still need one more on Thursday as well. I've got an opening at 2:45 on Thursday. Would that be any better for y'all? Do you think we could make that happen? Do y'all follow me on that? And by the way, you know what they say 9 times out of 10? Yeah, man, let's do it. Okay. But part of it is because when I was new, I was afraid to let anyone know that anything mattered to me. I was afraid to share goals. I was afraid to let them know it mattered to me because, oh, what if they think I'm weird or what if it comes across pushy? Because it doesn't. When you're just confident, in fact, when you're confident, it helps other people feel more relaxed interacting with you. It's when you bring this nervous energy, it throws it off. Back in the day, I was talking to a realtor and we had set an appointment to meet at just a Starbucks. Okay. And they called me like 20 minutes before. By the way, this is why you do not call or text your customers to like verify the demo right before you go. Okay, you don't do that. All right, because it puts people off and they don't even know why, and everyone just reschedules on you. All right, some of you may have done that. That's okay. Don't do it going forward. All right, I saw like 3 people just laugh all of a sudden. They're like, oh wait, is that not? Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so here's what happened. They called me like 20 minutes before, and they're just like, hey, so Mr. Carter, we've got we have our appointment today. It's coming up in 20 minutes. So like you're gonna be there, right? I'm gonna see you there. Oh, okay, great. I'll see you there. Guys, that like all of a sudden, what is my opinion of this person? They're insecure. They think I can't keep a schedule. They think I'm stupid. Or maybe they can't keep a schedule and I should be surprised they are going to show up at the appointment we set. Guys, there's a million things I think in that interaction and none of them are positive. And I'm like, wow, I'm going to entrust this guy with like $500,000 to $600,000 of my money? Well, the answer is no, I'm not and I didn't. Y'all follow me? It's just insecurity is what leads us to do and say a lot of things that ultimately are not super effective. So let's go through 1 or 2 more things. Someone says, hey, it's too many knives. Okay, has anyone had someone say it's like too many knives? I hear that for sure. Okay, and by the way, for some people, it's because it's too many knives. They don't need that many knives. Great. Sal McGalley said. Sell them a studio set. I love starter sets. They're freaking awesome, man. Everyone should get a kitchenette set. That set's badass. We should sell 100 times more gourmet sets than we do right now. Okay. But let's say they say it's too many knives. Hey, my gosh, Miss Jones, I completely understand. You know, at first, 10 pieces for a lot of people, it seems like a lot. It really can. And so, you know, the reality is, though, what's great is with this set, if you guys did try this out, though, pretty much what we hear from all our customers is once they have it, they really use it. And it's so much better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The great thing is you guys could use this for the next month. And if you found there was a piece or a couple pieces you weren't using, we would just take the whole thing back. So, hey, by the way, knowing that, what do you think? Would it be any better if we tried it out here for the next month and see if you really did like using all those pieces, or at least having those pieces? By the way, if they say yes, you write it up. And if they say no, you know what you do? Guys, we have framed the dropdown in such a great way where it's hey, Mrs. Jones, I completely understand. We love that homemaker set, but we know it's not right for everybody. Okay. So that's why we have this galley set. My God, let me show you this galley set. I think it's going to be such a great option for you guys. Guys, like, it adds confidence and power to your speech, but you have to decide it's okay for me to have a goal. I have an objective for what I want to do. It's not a bad thing if they tell me no to an option, because that's going to help me clarify this with customers. Guys, on average, people don't usually feel comfortable saying yes until they've said no. Like, just in the normal business world, they usually have to say no 4 times before they feel comfortable saying yes. All right. And that's okay. That's not a reflection on buying knives or buying anything. It's just about human psychology. So you just can't be afraid of that. And if y'all can just take that away from this call, you're going to be in good shape. Time-wise, I'm gonna run out of time for my part here, because I do want y'all to get to book a few demos. And by the way, I have videos on all the different objections. Like if someone says I need to talk to my spouse, I have like a little 2-minute video on that. So remember at the beginning where I said pay attention to the objections you're getting, and let your manager know so we can help you and learn that. Because guys, if you keep hearing the same objection, great, learn the 2-3 sentence answer to that, and then you're basically good forever. Okay, so I want y'all to know if someone says I need to talk to the spouse, if someone says I need to think about it, whatever it is, we've got good resources on all these, like all those little answers you hear me rattling off here. We have those all isolated, so you can just listen to that over and over again, and your manager will get that to you. Okay, today was about teaching you guys how your relationship to this could be, how to think about this stuff, how to interact with this stuff. Because guys, I want y'all to be empowered. I want y'all to be powerful young professionals. That is what I want from your time here with us. Sell all the knives, make all the money, but leave here bulletproof. Leave here is just a mountain and a well of confidence. That's what we want. So guys, the point is not that you have to be a bully or you need to like go kick doors down and just be like, no, I sell knives and I'm here for this. But guys, you will never get what you want in life and business and anything if you're afraid to ask for it. And that is the whole point of answering objections. It gives you a framework where it makes it okay and positive to ask and offer solutions. That being said, we're going to be bold, we're going to be assertive, we're going to be powerful, we're going to have and demonstrate all those characteristics that we see and admire in other people. And it is going to do amazing things for your Cutco business this summer, but it's going to do way better things going forward.